Everyone, Pastor Nick here, and we are back for the next kind of segment, I guess, of Nixt Question. I got my trusty bamboo pen and tablet here, waiting and ready to go, so we'll see how my artist skills are. I'm going to try and answer more than one question this time. We'll see how the timing goes, but we'll just try and get them all in there. And please, keep the questions coming. The more the merrier. The more we can do this, the more we can help answer people's stuff. And if you need any clarity on anything that we talked about or any further repetition, please don't hesitate to let me know. Now, today's question comes, well, actually, I'm not going to say who it comes from. I guess it doesn't really matter. But the question is this, and it's a beautiful question. It says, if God already knows what's best for us, and He has already provided everything for us in advance because of Jesus, then why does it say in the Bible, ask and it will be given unto you? Does that mean that if we don't ask, then it's not coming, or God's promises are not coming? So that's a brilliant question, because it's true. I mean, we believe, and the scriptures teach us in the New Covenant, that God has provided everything for us through Jesus Christ. And so all the blessings of God and all the covenant benefits of God, and God has freely given to us all things, and yet it does say, ask. Now, there are a couple ways we can look at it. First, when we see ask, it is Jesus talking, but it also comes up in James, and we're going to talk about this in the sermon tomorrow. So if you're watching this before the message, then good for you. You're going to get a little sneak peek. But it is a brilliant question. The first thing we need to realize about this is, let me get over here to my trusted whiteboard, and we're going to say the difference, or I want to show you the difference between a law versus a command. Now, I know that sounds like the same thing, and we use the term law a lot in comparison to grace, but we're going to call a law a universal reality of how things work. For example, gravity. There's a law of gravity, and it's not a command. Like, the command isn't, thou shalt not, float in the air. It's a law. That gravity, the gravitational pull, keeps us on the ground as we walk. It's a law that really can't be broken, maybe a little bit manipulated, but really at the end of the day, it is a universal physical law. Now, a command is, on the other hand, where we get something that tells us to do something. Now, when we're talking about asking here, so we're looking at it in the context of asking, in this question that says, well, why do we got to ask? What I'm proposing to you, that this ask and you shall receive, knock and the door shall be open, seek and ye shall find, those are not commands telling us to do something. Those are, in fact, let me see if I can change the color here, laws. Now, let me explain it this way. Why would I say that they're laws? Well, it is a reality that we are, now it's not saying verbally that we got to ask, but it is a reality that every single day of our life, multiple times a day, we are asking, we are seeking, and we are knocking. And do you realize that whether we do it consciously or not, even by virtue of our desire, if we go to McDonald's and we're waiting for something to eat and we're looking up at the menu, by virtue of realizing what we don't want, we realize what we do want, and we are essentially throwing that desire out into the universe or the world. Now, if we go to McDonald's counter, we're asking, well, I want a Big Mac or whatever. But the reality of what this is saying is that throughout your entire life, you are either consciously, every single day, or subconsciously asking God or the universe or the world, however you want to put it, because sometimes we're not necessarily asking God, but we are asking whomever is listening the desires of our heart, whether it be a preference of what we like to eat, whether it be what we want to be one day. Just by virtue of the desires in our heart, we are asking the world for something. And this law states that every time you ask, there is an answer given. Now, we're going to talk a lot about how this works in the quantum physics kind of realm tomorrow's sermon and future sermons. But the idea is this. We are always asking and we are always receiving. It's just a matter of us now taking a hold of those things, which takes me to the next point of this. Why ask if it's already given? We have this impression that when we ask, that we are asking for stuff that is not ours. And so, because, that's what we ask. If we don't have something, then we ask for it. If we have it, then we don't need to ask for it. And that's kind of the mentality that we have. But I propose to you that this is not the asking that the scriptures are talking about. I propose to you that the asking the scriptures are talking about is, I'm trying to think of an example, it's like going to a mall in the middle of the winter, and sometimes when you go to the mall somewhere like Yorkdale and you don't want to carry your coat around, you bring it to the coat check. And so as you go to the coat check, you give them your coat, they give you a little tag, and when you're done your shopping, you can come back and pick up your coat so you don't have to turn around, or carry it around, sorry. So at the end of your whole little shopping spree, if you walk over to the coat check and you give them your tag and you say, "Can I have my coat?" you are asking, but you're asking from a completely different perspective. In this sense, you are asking not for something that is not yours, you are asking for something that is yours. And because you can ask for something that is yours, that you know is yours, number one, there's no faith required because you're asking with confidence and with assurance, and you are just asking that you are to receive something that is yours. And so that is an example when it comes to asking. Now, does that mean that if we don't ask, then we don't get? You don't really have to worry about that because we are always, as I said before, always continually asking. And so every time we ask, there is an answer, and the real trick of the whole thing is understanding how to properly receive. Receiving is the key. See, when you look at the scriptures, when you look up the word ask in the New Covenant, in the New Testament, in the Greek, that word ask here, let me just actually give you a little, write it down. Oh, we're still in red, but that's okay. That word ask is not really a sense of asking for something that is not yours. This word ask carries with the connotation of it of active taking, or if not active taking, the other idea is claiming or possession. I don't know if I spelled that right, but forgive me if I haven't. So this idea then of asking, it's not really this passive, I'm asking because I don't know it's mine, or God, would you please do this for me, or whatever. Asking is active taking. It's realizing that something is yours and you are now going to receive it or take it, or again, claim it or possess it. So the idea is, if we don't ask, again, just kind of a recap here, if we don't ask, will we not get? No, we're always asking and we're always getting. Now, unfortunately, most of the time we're asking for things we don't really want because that's what we focus on. We see, oh man, I don't want to, all I see is debt, or all I see are bad relationships. And so our desires inside our mind are releasing that and saying, oh, I'm asking for more debt and more bad relationships. And of course, we're always getting that, and it's always being received into our lives. And so we've got to readjust that. But case in point, we are always asking. It is always being answered, whether we're verbally doing that or just in our minds. And the key to the whole thing now is to learn how to properly receive. And this idea of receiving comes with an active taking, a claiming, or a possession. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. So tune in for the message, come in for the message for that, and we're going to expand that a lot more over this series on faith. I hope that helps you. I know we've taken about 8 minutes and 29 seconds here. So I'm going to cut this one, and then I'm going to answer another one for you. Thanks. Hope that helped.